Hi everybody, it's Juliet here. I know it's been a long time, but I have been working and I am going to be coming to an end of my job pretty soon, so more videos will be coming. But in the meantime, since it's been such a long time, I thought I would come on and show you this earring. And we're going to make the other one. This is actually a set that I made a while back. I'll put the necklace, I made a matching necklace on the screen for you. However, today we're just going to make the earrings. I love these earrings. That set is actually sold. I sold it, but I loved the earrings, so I'm making a pair for myself. So this little motif actually came about. I wanted to make a little fidget cube, I don't know what they're called, these little puzzle cube things, and I was trying to figure out how to do it. So I made this little puzzle cube, but it doesn't close properly because here I used 11 O's and here I used 8 O's, and the 8 O's, I didn't think about this, on the inside they don't make it close properly. So I'm going to have to redo this, which is a task I'm not looking forward to. These ones on the inside, the white, I used the 8O, but unfortunately on the outside, I thought, oh, that'll be pretty, a little dimensional, but it doesn't close. But anyway, so there's all kinds of fun things you can do with this motif. Okay. So what you'll need for this project, and this is a fairly easy project, I think maybe a beginner, if you were quite quick at learning, you could probably do this. So you will need some 11O seed beads. I'm using Miyuki, the silver, galvanized silver color, and you will need some 8O in 3 different colors. So I've got some like brownish bronze, I don't know the exact color, I'm sorry, they came out of a like a mix that I had. I'm using these like light blue lined AB, and also some like pearl colored lined AB. You'll need an earring hook, and I've got a couple jump rings at the top here. One I put around my work, and then one that hooks the work to the earring. Just gives it a little bit more swing when you're wearing the earring. Okay, and you can obviously use whatever kind of earring top you like. And I'm using a beading needle. This is a size 10, it's 2 inches long, and I have about a yard of thread. I am using this Wildfire gray thread, 0.006. So yeah, you'll need about a yard or a meter if you're in the anywhere else. And let's go ahead and get started. So hold your thread leave about 4 to 6 inches at the end that you can weave in. So just hold that. And then with your needle end, you're going to pick up 16 of your 11 O's. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. So that's, and push them down to where your hand is. And then you're going to kind of make a ring. You're going to go through the first 2 to make a ring. All right. And if like somehow my tail ended up being really long, so you can slide your thread up or down to adjust the length of your tail if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to pick up, so we're going to start with whatever color you want at the top of your earring. So I'm going to start with my white, or my cream, or whatever color you want to call this, and I'm going to pick up 2. And if I look at my ring, I'm coming out here. This is my tail. I'm going to go into, I'm going to count back 2. So I'm going to go into 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to go into these 2 and the next 2 that so I'm going to go through these 4. So I'm going through the 2 before my tail and the 2 after my tail where my thread is coming out. Okay, and just pull that. And it should look like something like this. Okay, then I'm going to move forward 4. So from where my thread was coming out, 1, 2, 3, 4. I went through the next 4. I'm going to pick up my next bead, my next 8-0. I'm going to go, if this is the middle, I'm going to go towards the edge of the ring of the bead that's closest to my thread. And pull that. Okay. Now I'm going to go, so you can see here, you should be able to see where the thread that's attaching this bead on, it's coming between these 2 beads. See that thread right in there? So I'm going to go through these 2 heading towards the bead I just added. And I'm going to pick up 1 11-0, and then I am going to go through 2 more. So I have made a little corner right here. All right, now I'm going to go through the next 4 beads. All right, I'm going to pick up my last 8-0. And again, from the middle of the work towards the edge. Just go down that 8-0 and pull. Okay, and then again, look and see which 2 beads your thread that attached that 8-0 on is coming. So mine is coming right here. So I'm going to go into the next 2. So make sure your thread is following your previous thread. Okay, then I'm going to pick up 1 11-0. I'm going to go up 4, and I'm going to turn and I'm going to go up the next 2 beads. Okay, so I have to attach this bead to this bead, so I'm going to go into this bead right here, and you'll notice we haven't done the corners yet, so that's okay, we're going to get them in a second. Then we're going to go down from the middle, go down. Okay, and that's going to make these form a square. Right, and then again, your thread should be coming out. If this is your corner bead, there should be 2 beads, and then this is where your thread comes out previously. So this is where this bead is attached. You're going to go up 2. We're going to add our corner bead, so pick up an 11. And we're going to go through the next 4 beads. Okay. We're at our corner where we started. we're going to add one bead. So pick up your 11, go through the next 2 beads. Okay, and now we're going to add an 11-0 in the middle right here. So go ahead and go into your 8-0, pick up your 11-0, go into the 8-0 directly opposite the one that you're coming out. Okay, and then go ahead and see there should be 4 beads and 2 corner beads. So you're going to go between these 2, go in these 2, okay, and then head into your corner bead. So that is our top unit completed. Okay, so now we're going to do this little diamond unit, which is really easy. So you're going to pick up 5 of your 11-0s, and I'm coming out this side, so I'm going to enter the same bead from the opposite direction to make a loop. Okay. Then I'm going to go into this first bead right here. I'm going to pick up one more 11-0. I'm going to go into the second bead on that circle that we just created. And when I pull, this is going to make like a point, okay? I'm going to skip this third bead and go into the 4th bead, following the circle. And this is also going to create a point. And then we're going to pick up one more bead, and we're going to go into the 5th bead that we added. Okay, so now we have this diamond. So now I need to get down here, so I'm just going to follow the beads around. So just sew through them all again till you get to the other side. Okay, now the second motif is exactly the same as the first, except that we're starting at one of the points here, so it's slightly different, but we're still going to pick up 16 of our 11-0s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8. That's 12. And that is 16. Okay, so this time the thread is coming down here. You can turn your work over if it makes it easier for you. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and just go down to form that ring. Okay, and then just like we did before, we're going to go into the first 2 beads that we just added. Okay. And we're going to pick up 2 of our next color of 8-0 beads, so I'm doing blue this time. And again, just like we did before, here's our point bead. So I'm going to count back 1, 2 on the opposite side of where I'm working. So I'm coming out 1, 2, the second bead here. I'm going to go into this bead right here, the second bead, going towards the point. Okay, but don't go through the point. Just go through those 2 8-0s. I mean 11-0s, I'm sorry. And then you're going to skip the point and you're going to go through the next 4 beads. So I'm skipping the point here. Don't go into that one. Okay. And then we're going to go into the next 2 beads. We're going to pick up another of our 8/0s, and from the middle towards the edge, we're going to go into it. Okay. So here you can either look where your thread's going, or you can count 1, 2, go into the next 2 beads. You're going to pick up a corner bead, and then you're going to go into the next 4 beads. Okay. All right, we're going to turn a little bit and go into the next 2 beads again. We're going to pick up our last 8/0 from the middle towards the edge. Okay. And then you can look here, so, or you can count from the corner, so there should be 2 beads, and then that's where your thread's coming out. You're going to go into the next 2. We're going to pick up a corner bead. We're going to go through the next 4. And into the next 2. And here we're going to attach these 2 beads together. So we're going to go into this one, going towards the middle of the bead of the unit, and then we're going to go down through this one towards the edge. Okay. Pull that, and then again you can either look where your thread is, or you can count from the corner. Don't count the corner, just count 1, 2, and then go into the next 2 beads. Okay, and go ahead and pick up 1 11. Go ahead and go into the next 2. Okay, so that is that motif done. If your shape is a little bit weird, you can reinforce, go around again. I find this thread I'm using is quite thick, and I can't always get through again. So if you're using like a 4 instead of a 6, you could probably do that. I'm not going to right now, just to save time, but if I were going to sell these, they weren't for me, I would probably go around it again. Okay, so now we have to add the bead in the middle. So we're here, we're going to go up into that 8/0, pick up 1 11/0, go into the opposite 8/0. Okay, so there's our little flower unit. And again, so there should be 4 beads plus 2 corner beads. So you can look and see where your thread needs to go. It needs to go into the middle. And I need to get down to this point so I can build my next diamond. So I'm going to go down there. Okay, so the diamond is again exactly the same as what we did before, so just pick up 5 beads, go ahead and go through the corner and into the first bead on the circle that you just made, pick up 1, go into the second bead on the circle you just made, and you might need to sort of scrunch that up. We're going to skip the 3rd bead and go into the 4th bead, and just make sure that that bead that we skipped is sticking out because that's going to be the point of our diamond. Pick up one more, go into the 5th bead and back into the joining bead. Okay, so now we got to work our way down here again. Sorry, my tail's in the way. We're going to pick up 16 of our 11-ohs. So that's 4, that's 8, that's 12, and that is 16. Push them all down. Go ahead and go into the corner to form a loop and into the first 2 beads. Okay. Again, we're going to pick up our 2 8-ohs. So this time I'm doing brown. And I'm going to count back here. So this is my corner bead right here. So 1, 2. I'm going to go into these 2 right here, going towards my corner bead. And my thread's coming out on this side, okay? Then I'm going to skip that corner bead for now. And I'm going to go into the next 2 beads. So see how I'm skipping this one right here. I'm going into those 2. Okay, I'll just help pull it to the corner. All right, and go ahead and go through the next 4. Pick up another 8-oh. Hang on, I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, and from the middle of your work, you're going to go down the last 8-oh closest to you. Then again, I'm going to look and see where my thread is. So if this is my corner bead, 1, 2, so I'm going to go into these 2. And I'm going to make my next corner. So go ahead and pick up an 11, go through the next 4 beads. You can turn if you need to. Go into the next 2 beads as well. Pick up one of your, I'm just trying to see which one of these is, I need a thick one for the bottom, so I think this one's probably the thickest. I'm going to save that one. Okay, so go ahead and pick up your last 8-oh, and then going back, you're going to go from the middle down through that 8-oh. Okay, then I can look here, there was my last corner, 1, 2, so I'm going to go into this one right here, these 2. Let's make our corner. Go ahead and pick up an 11-oh and go into the next 4 beads. Okay, so we still have to attach these 2 8-ohs together, so move into the next 2 and go up towards the center of your middle 8-oh. Then go ahead and attach it to the one we just left by going from the middle towards the edge. And again, I can count 1, 2, go into the next 2. Okay, let's put our corner on. And then we can go into the next 2 beads. And then we need to just add our little middle. Hang on, this is a little funky. I'm just gonna pull that a little tighter. That should fix that. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna go through that first 8-0, pick up our 11-0 and go into our second 8-0. And now we have finished our motif. Hurrah! However, that's our basic motif, but the bottom has an extra row of beads on it just to give it some visual weight and make it look like it kind of ends there. So what we're going to do is we need to get going in a direction that we can add the bottom. So if I went this way, I could go around to here. If I go this way, I have to go all the way around to here before I can come down. So I'm going to go the shorter way. So just look at your work and figure out which way is shorter so that you can go in a direction that you can add something to the bottom. So I'm going to go up these 2 right here. I'm actually having trouble getting through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to go through the first 2, and then I'm going to take a shortcut through these 2 brown beads. So I'm going to go into that 8-0 and into this 8-0. Because I don't want to fill up my outside too much, because I'm still going to have to tie it off. This is why I'm saying you might want to use 4-pound Fireline instead of this thicker Wildfire. Okay. Looking good. All right, so I'm here at my corner. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pick up 5 of our 11-0s. And then we're going to go into this point at the bottom. And they're just going to sit right there next to, don't pull this super tight. If you pull it super tight, it doesn't look as nice as if you leave it a little bit looser. I'm a pretty tight beader, so I have to like control myself here. Okay, pick up 5 more and go ahead and go into the corner on the other side. Okay, so now we've got this, so we need to get back over here again, and then we're going to go through and we're going to add an 8-0. So again, we're going to work our way. If you went over this time, you might want to go through this time. Just however is easier for you. I'm going to work my way over there. Okay, so that was really tricky for me, and I actually ended up going through the 8-0s. I do not have a lot of room here, but anyway, okay, so I made it to my corner. I'm going to go down the 5 that we just added. And then I'm going to pick up 1 8-0. Now, I want to show you here. These are Miyuki. All 8-0 beads are less even than, you know, a lot of other beads. So for some reason, I don't know. You can see that this one is narrower than this one. So I looked for a wider one because it looks better here if you have a wider bead to fill this gap. So I've gone through these 5, pick up my bead and then go back up through these 5 on the other side. And it just gives a little kind of finishing touch. Okay, so now we have to tie off our bead, our thread, which is going to be a little tricky because we have so much going on. So what I'm going to do is I've gone through my point here, my corner. I'm going to tie a knot. So the way you do that is you go kind of behind your beads and you form a little loop. Don't pull it all the way. And then you stick your needle through the loop, okay? And then when you pull, it creates a hitch knot, okay? See how that's forming a knot there? And it just pulls right in there between the beads, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the other way. Oops, caught my, because I don't have any more room up here. And I'm just gonna go down. These guys are right here. The good thing about having your beads really full is it means that your work is not going to pull out and fall apart on you. So tight beads. My hand is so slick sometimes I can't even get a grip. There we go. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that right there. This is an earring, so it's not going to get that much wear and tear on it. Okay. And then what I will do is I will thread my needle with the other end, and I will just kind of tie a knot and then bring it through some of the beads. I don't even have to tie a knot here, but I probably, well, yeah, I probably won't actually, because obviously it's staying together. So I'll just do that and get rid of it, and then I'll come back and show you how to assemble it. Okay, so I ended up, I didn't even tie a knot. I just went through my corner and down here and up here, and then I cut it. So now here I have 2 jump rings. One is slightly smaller. I think this might be a 5mm and this is a 4mm. So what I did, you can look on this one, I attached a bigger one around my beads and then a smaller one to attach it to my earring finding. So you'll need some pliers. I like to use bent nose pliers. You can use whatever you have, flat nose, needle nose, anything really. You just need 2 pairs or 2 sets of plier. When you're doing your jumpring, you're gonna wiggle it apart. And this one's kind of overlapping a little. Let me see if I can show you. See how it's overlapping the way they cut it? So I have to kind of massage it apart. So you never want to pull your jump ring apart. You always want to twist it. So twist it. Okay, see how it's twisted. And then by wiggling it back and forth a little, like if you need to adjust the height on one side, you can. But just wiggle it around a bit, get it so it lines up nicely, forms a nice circle. Okay, I'm kind of squishing it this way, I'm squishing it this way. All right, so that's a nice close. When you're wiggling your jump ring around, it's actually what it's doing is it's hardening the metal. So I give it a little bit of a wiggle so that it'll be less likely to come apart, because this is soft, and the more you play with metal, the harder it becomes. So by me playing with it, it's actually tightening up the metal. All right, so I'm going to attach this. I need to open that a teensy bit wider. I'm going to attach this jump ring just through this hole right here at the top. Okay. And I'm just going to twist it closed. Oops. No, I'm not. I'm going to drop it. Let's try that again. Jewelry making takes a great deal of patience. Okay. Now we've got it. I'm sorry about the focus. It's very hard to get this in just the right position. Okay, so I'm kind of mushing it. That is a pretty good closure there. I'm going to mush it this way. You can even squeeze the ends together. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, so then I'm going to use the other jump ring to attach from this jump ring onto this, and it's the exact same method. So I'll come back once I have finished that. Okay, so here we are, and I have finished my earrings, and they're so fun and swingy. You can try all different colors, whatever colors you like. I kind of like these neutral tones. I think they would look good with, you know, jeans or whatever. Anything really kind of summery kind of colors. So I hope you like this project, and I will be back very soon with more. So enjoy. Bye.